Right now the dashboard is out because I was working on all this vacuum stuff. It's got speakers. Made these little brackets out of scrap metal, just so that I could drive it around. It's got a Pioneer DH80 PRS. I can't remember the brand of these seats. They're not Recaros, but I put those in it because I was doing kind of a resto mod thing, and I wanted bolstering since the original seats didn't really have any. I have all the door cards, the dashboard, the trim pieces, all that stuff. Most of it is in kind of the shape that you see here. Like, the interior overall was pretty good, but the original seats, the previous owners were rather large, so that all the spring stuff under here was messed up. And I couldn't find a seat bottom that matched, so I just put these in it. I do have the original seats. They're upstairs. The little bit of rust that the car has is like this, which I poured 15 and painted over. Again, the back seat is out. It's upstairs along with the rear door cards because, again, I was working on the vacuum stuff and I took the carpet and everything out to make way for putting 6x9s in the rear. The deck has been trimmed, and the deck lid, has been opened up. MDF wood put underneath and insulation. It's got a vintage tag for the state of Alabama, which will go with the car. The engine and whatnot is original to the car as far as I can tell. Everything works fine. I drove it for a long time until a local tire shop stripped the lug, the bolt hole stuff on the hubs. I don't know if you can tell really by looking at this, but most of these are stripped out. So what I was going to do was, I've got new wheel bearings, new rear hubs. These front hubs have been faced. I was going to use these ARP studs and just convert it to like a standard sort of car with the using lug nuts instead of the goofy bolt setup. It has, it's been sitting here for about 6 years now, and it's leaked that much oil. So, I mean, it has some oil leak, but not a ton. Most of this stuff is from another car that I had before, but this, where you can see it's kind of like still wet, is from this one. The 6x9s for the rear are up here. I can't really get to the trunk. The antenna I deleted. It needs to be like bondoed and painted, but it didn't work. I couldn't find another one, and it leaked, let water in the trunk. Like I said, I was driving this as my daily for a long time, so I just welded that up. It has a SCAR 7-channel 900-watt amp under the little like first aid kit tray in the rear that drives all the speakers. That's all wired in. Everything works. You can see the body is, there's not really any dents or anything. It's straight. There's our 2.5 turbo badge. I can't think of any real issues it has. There's the clutch pedal. There's a box of other stuff from Pelican I never even opened. More stuff from Pelican. The transmission is in this box. The new CV axles for it are in one of these boxes. And then most of the interior parts are upstairs. I'm not going to go up there and oh, there's the CV axles. They're in this box, not those. Those are probably for some other car. These are the wheels I was going to run. All the original wheels are with it. They're in pretty decent shape. They're all about like this one. They're not really curved or anything. They're just kind of like dirty. I did get the vacuum door locks working at one time and installed a keyless that was working at one time. The battery that's in it is fairly old at this point. But it really hasn't been, it doesn't seem to have a date on it. It really hasn't been used all that much, and it has been on a tender ever since I parked it, so in theory it should work. I can't really think. Oh, it has a new radiator. The radiator that was in it leaked. The crank pulley seal has been done. The water pump has been replaced. It has a new alternator. The vacuum pump up here has been rebuilt. Like I said, the transmission has been rebuilt. The turbo works fine. I can't think of anything else I really had to do to the motor. The radiator hoses have been replaced. The heater hoses have been replaced. I never could get the air conditioning to work. The vacuum stuff with the HVAC didn't play right. That's why this is open. I do again, I have the trim piece that goes there. Most of the vacuum stuff has been replaced or dinked with. Some of the lines have these little T guys in there. Most of those have been replaced. I have some spare ones. Those I'll throw all that stuff in with the car. It has, I believe, let's see, the odometer reads 215,427. I don't believe that's accurate. I think it's got more than that, but you know, I really don't know. There's the key with the little keyless fob sitting in the, you can tell the last time I drove this car was during the pandemic, the mask there. So right now, probably the question you're mostly wondering is what does it need to drive? The front wheel bearings, the wheel bearing on the passenger side needs to be replaced. I was going to do both. So that's part of what I got the hubs all pulled off for. Those need to be replaced. The hubs need to be, you know, drilled out and have the studs pressed in. Then put the hubs back on. The rear, the differential is good. From what I can tell, it has limited slip. The CV axles, I think are okay, but I was going to replace them while I was in there. And the rear hubs, I have brand new rear hubs over there in the boxes, need to be replaced. I got started on this and changed jobs, and I don't drive anymore for work, so I just used my old truck for tooling around town, and this guy's just been sitting here, and ultimately I need the the garage space more than I need another project car. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.